জয় গোরা চাঁদে আরতিক শোভা জয় ও নারে কটাবল জগমনল রাজা এবাদশে নিতাই वामे गदाधर दक्षिण निताई एकात वासा छत्रधारा बाबा से अच्छे गोरता रत्न सिंहासने बसे করি আমার ধুলা নর সঞ্জারাম কুন্দ দাস ঘোষা দুর্গা বাজে 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 করতা শঙ্খ বাজে ঘণ্টা বাজে বাজে করতা মধুরা মৃদঙ্গ পরমদসানা মধুর 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 বাজু মধুর शंका बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे शंका मधुर 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 बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे मधुर शिव बहु कोटि चंद्र जिने मदनवो জলা দেশের মালা করে ঝালামালা শিবা শিবা শুকনা রাধা প্রেমী গদা গদা শিব শুকনা কাতিবি সদা দুঃখে মোরার সম্পদা বাজায় জয় ঘোড়া চাঁদে আরতি শোভা জয় कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतली श्रीमत भक्ति वेदांत सारी इति नामिने नमः। नमस्ते सारस्वत देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे विशेष पुण्यभागे अचकोदशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरा भक्त वृंदा जय आनंद जय हो कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरा भक्त वृंद जय जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम हरे हरे Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Bola Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Bola Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Nitya Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitya Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Jaya Nitya Gaura Sundar Jaya Nitya Gaura Sundar Nitya Gaura Sundar Jaya Nitya Gaura Sundar Jaya Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Radhe Jaya Radha Madhav Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Bola Jaya Jagannath Jaya Baladev Jaya Subhadra Jaya Sudarshana Jai Jagannath Jai Baladev Jai Subhadra Jai Jagannath Swami Nayana Patagani Jayana Patagani Bhavatmave Sai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya 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 हरे हरे बोल। प्रणाम कीजिए सब। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमत परिव्राज अष्टोदशी श्रीमद हे देवांग जैसे भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी स्वरूपपाद महाराज की जय। जय ओम नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर श्री प्रभुपाद महाराज की जय। गौर किशोर बाबा जी महाराज की जय। गुरु परंपरा की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णविंद के जय। रामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर के जय। प्रेम से जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद के जय। जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन के जय। श्री नवदीप महाविधाम के जय। मथुरा द्वारका अयोध्या विधाम के जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथ धाम के जय। भगवान जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा देवी श्री सुदर्शन चक्र के जय। श्री श्री राधा माधव जी के जय। गिरी गोविंद गिरिराज के जय। पंचतत्व के जय। श्री निताय गुनिताय गौर सुंदर के जय। गंगा माँ यमुना माई के जय। वृंददेव भक्त देव के जय। सर्वत भक्त वृंद के जय। हरे कृष्ण महामंदिर के जय। संकीर्तन यज्ञ के जय। ट्रांसजेंडर प्रभुपाद जी बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन प्रोग्राम की जय। इस ग्रेस वैशाच के अधिकारी प्रभु जी के व्यास पूजा महामहोत्सव खेज हिताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। All glories assembled with Hare. All glories assembled with Hare. All glories assembled with Hare Krishna. All glory Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga Upad.
Namaste Narasingaya. Namaste Narasingaya. Kashi Purvakshaman Shivatanganatayane Jito Nashima Bharata Nashima Nashima Vaya Nashima Hridaya Nashima Narashinamanim Tvaranam Prapade Tavakana Kamalabhare Shringar Kavita Hiranyakashipu Tanavinda Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jajagadishare 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 Nrsimhade, Nrsimhade, Jaya Nrsimhade. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Jai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nrsimhadev Bhagwan ki, Prahlad Maharaj ki.
Hare Krishna. Hare Hare Krishna. I'll wait for the crowd to settle down. Looks like everybody's rushing out. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Please settle down. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Okay, so welcome to ISKCON of Baltimore. And we would first of all like to really thank the devotees who have dressed the deities today. The deities look outstanding today. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Yesterday we had a wonderful Rath Yatra in Queens. Many of the devotees from here went there. It was an amazing Rath Yatra. And our deities were there, our Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, Maharani, they were there yesterday. And then they came back later in the evening, I think. Yes. So as you've seen, we just before this program, we were celebrating the Vyasa Puja celebration of His Grace Vaisheshika Maharaj. And the Vyasa Puja, what does it mean? Vyasa Puja means that we are celebrating and honoring Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva is the author of all the Vedic scriptures that you see, Srimad Bhagavatam, Mahabharata, Puranas, Ithiyas, everything. So he's the one he's called the literary incarnation of Krishna. And because the knowledge that the Guru is bringing forth is in the disciplic succession without any change, that's why we are celebrating it as Vyasa Puja celebration. So that's what it's called. Yes, please, everybody move forward, please. Please, it's good to be close to the deities. So the feast was cooked by the disciples of His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu. So please, if there's nobody here, okay. Yes, so the devotees cooked the feast. So the disciples of His Grace Vaisheshika Maharaj, they cooked the feast today. And before we get on to our discussion, there is a short video that we wanted to show. It's a message from His Grace Vaisheshika Maharaj to all of the devotees who are here. Anirudh Prabhu, can you please play that?
I offer my respectful obeisances to all the assembled devotees. I offer my respectful obeisances to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who mercifully accepted me as his disciple. Thank you very much, dear devotees who have assembled to celebrate and glorify Srila Vyasadeva. Sri Vyasa Puja is a recognition of our dependence on descending knowledge. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Sanatana Goswami, Maya Mugdha Jivan Hari Swata Krishna Gyan. It's not automatic that any living being can come out of the clutches of Maya. Because, as Krishna says in the Gita, Daivihi esha guna mayi mama maya duratyaya. Mameva ye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. Maya is a fortress. Even in an ordinary prison, It's very difficult to escape, but in Maya's prison it's impossible, partly because she deludes us and we forget that we're in prison. We think we're enjoying. This is the covering potency of Maya. An intervention is needed. And Jivera Kripaya Koila, Krishna Veda Puran. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued to Sanatan by saying that Srila Vyasadeva has made that intervention. He has provided the Vedic literatures, especially Srimad Bhagavatam, Anarthopasanam Sakshat Bhakti Yoga Madhoksaje, Lokasya Ajanato Vidvams, Chakre Satvata Samhitam. People don't know that they're suffering an illusion. Therefore, he's given Srimad Bhagavatam. When we worship the spiritual master who's local to us, Srila Prabhupada told His Holiness Satsvarup Maharaj, we're worshiping the post and also the person. The post means one who's a postal peon. Peon means somebody who carries a message. Such a person is insignificant in his or her own eyes because it's simply carrying a message. But when we receive the message through a person, we can take it that Krishna has made some local arrangement. So it's the glory of Krishna coming to us through his own arrangement. And therefore, we glorify Krishna. But we also glorify those who bring us Krishna consciousness, even if it's incidental. For instance, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Kaviraj Goswami begins with Vande Gurun Isha Bhaktan, worshipping all the gurus, and mentions the Vartmana Pradakshaka Guru. The Vartmana Pradakshaka Guru may be someone who is not fully Krishna conscious or not Krishna conscious at all, but who gives us a way into Krishna consciousness. He considers that significant, and it is. What to speak of those who give us instruction, having received it from the disciplic succession by the mercy of Srila Vyasadeva, and those who give us the mantra, the Diksha Gurus. Worshipping the principle of Guru is so important because we're worshipping Krishna in the form that he comes to us to personally deliver us with kind care and attention. Daivopayantya patitim kavayastadesha brahma yushapi kritam ridam udasmaranta yontarvahisthanubritam ashubham vadunvam acharya chaitya vabhusha swagatim vyanati. Srila Uddhava says that he could not express his gratitude enough to Lord Krishna due to the fact that Krishna has come to him externally as the Acharya and internally as the Supersoul to guide him from within and from without. As a insignificant servant of Srila Prabhupada, and having been picked up by his divine mercy, and having had the opportunity to serve his mission, and now to serve all of you, I feel greatly fortunate. Due to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, which he expresses frequently through his teachings, for instance, Kiba Vibra Kiba Nasti Shudra Kenanoi, She Krishna Chapa Veta, She Guru Hoy. That if somebody gets the mercy of Srila Vyasadeva through the disciplic succession, is able to lean into hearing his message and practice it, the mood and method, and then has a scientific understanding of Krishna consciousness and has realized the tenets of Krishna consciousness and can then become a teacher. Such a person, he says, is one of his representatives. So, although I'm unqualified, having been born in a far-flung place on the planet, not anywhere close to the Ganges River, with no conception whatsoever of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or Vaishnavas, or Krishna. By the mercy of the disciplic succession, I've been given an occupation which is glorified in the Srimad Bhagavatam. I have no confusion about the fact that I'm insignificant, but I feel I've been given the most significant role in representing His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada and the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, which I intend to do until my last breath. All of you are doing devotional service based on the guidance that is coming down to us through the cyclic succession. Thank you very much for giving your life and soul to following the four regulator principles, chanting 16 rounds, reading Srila Prabhupada's books, and vigorously spreading Krishna consciousness to the poor souls who are dying spiritual thirst in Kali Yuga. They need to drink the Srimad Bhagavatam and the holy names to be happy. Please stay tightly together in a mood of cooperation. Tolerate the minor trespasses of those around you. Honor the hierarchy of authority in ISKCON as set up by Srila Prabhupada, going up through your temple authorities, your zonal supervisors, the GBC. This takes humility. We each want to go off-road and innovate the nature of the soul, to want to be different because we are individuals. To sublimate that for the greater cause of working together was a value that Srila Prabhupada emphasized. And if we keep that in our hearts as a way to serve Him, we'll have understood the essence of His repeated admonition that we should cooperate, and by cooperating we would show our love for Him. What I can offer all of you is my determination to push on the Sankirtan movement despite whatever obstacles may be there until my last breath. I pray that all of you may feel the mercy of the disciplic succession by carefully following the simple path given to us by the Lord through this disciplic succession. And I thank you very, very much for cooperating together amongst yourselves, your friends, your godbrothers, godsisters, all of the devotees in the Krishna conscious movement, showing respect to all Vaishnavas everywhere despite whatever mat or sampradaya they're from, respecting all of the Vaishnava literatures, whatever genre they're presenting, and working together to spread Krishna consciousness. Thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing all of you sometime soon and dancing in ecstasy as we perform Harinam Kirtan. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande Haribol.
So after this amazing little snippet that we heard from Maharaj, now you'll have to listen to me for some time. I will briefly introduce you. Okay.
Hare Krishna devotees, thank you for joining today for Sunday Feast, making the time. We get to hear from His Grace Premdam Prabhuji. A brief introduction. Premdam Prabhu not only does work like many of us in the office, and then he makes time, like in the following his spiritual master. He does strong sadhana and swadhyaya, reading every day, Sri Prabhupada books. And not only that, following the mood of his spiritual master Vaisheshika Prabhu, he also does book distribution regularly, very regularly. He's the lead for book distribution for this temple. He's also board member of this temple, in case some of you don't know. And he also runs Bhakti Vrisha with his wife Sham Bhakti Mataji and his son Keshav. And then also he's the only authorized teacher to teach Bhakti Shastri in this temple. And also he's the only authorized teacher to teach ISKCON disciple course. And he has wonderful service mood to do any service that is needed for pleasing Krishna and his Guru. So please pay attention. He usually makes it classes very relevant, like his spiritual master, relevant and relatable, and interactive too. So he expects us to be interactive, so we can do that part today. Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. That's okay. Well, thank you, Sundaranand Prabhu, for that introduction. I don't know how much was true, but one thing he said, I'm the only authorized Bhakti Shastri teacher, so if you're interested in doing Bhakti Shastri, you don't want to cross with me. I'm just joking. I fail all my students. So, we're sharing, okay. And I don't know what's that big black bar up on top there. I'm not sure what's going on there, so you'll have to probably bear with that technology. So what I thought is that because today we are celebrating the Vyasa Puja, I'll take a minute, people. Please sit down, please have a seat. So yes, as I was saying, because we are celebrating the Vyasa Puja today, so I thought it would be a bit, something of interest to all of us to understand who's a guru, what are the qualities of a guru, how to find a guru. And if you have some questions or thoughts around that, it would be of value to to bring that forward. See that? I don't know what's happening there. Sharing the presentation. But yes, I can see it. That I can see that. But then the black bar, I don't know what is that.
Oh, okay. You can slide it.
Slide the black bar.
Yeah, if that helps.
It's probably this box.
Participants.
Okay.
Oh, that's it. Right click.
Right click here.
Right click here. There's an option to hide it.
Let's see. So hide floating meeting control.
Yeah.
Okay, did that? Oh yeah, that black thing went away. That's good. Thank you. Oh, gone. Okay. All coming good. Okay. Yes. So yes, talking about a guru. Who's the guru? Where is coming from? But before we start, it's always behooves us to do a prayer to our spiritual masters, to our teachers. Thank you. Because as you will see, we'll discuss, and as you all might already know, without a guru, we cannot move forward in the spiritual life. You might find many different thoughts of streams out there, people telling you many different things, and but then it's not the truth. If people tell you that, oh, we can figure it out ourselves, we can never figure out anything by ourselves. So we need a guru for everything. So we'll start with the prayer, and you can recite with me. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Krishna says this in the 10th chapter, 9th or 10th, 11th verse, that I, from within, can burn all the ignorance that I have in my heart. Right? And similarly, the Guru can also do it, because Guru is a direct representative of Krishna. So we'll sing a small prayer, and then we will come on to our discussion. It's always good to include a song, because that's all we do. We sing, we dance, and then we eat. Okay. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Giri Varadhari Jana Vallabha Jaya Giri Varadhari Jaya Yashodhanandana Jaya Brija Jana Ranjana Jaya Yashodhanandana Jaya Brija Jana Ranjana Jaya Yashodhanandana Jaya Yashodhanandana Jaya Brija Jana Ranjana Jaya Yashodhanandana Jaya Brija Jana Ranjana Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Shonati Ravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya. So let's dive into the topic. Okay. So the first question, right? So why I don't need a guru, and I have heard this so many times because as Sunanda Prabhu was telling, we go out for book distribution, we meet new people, try to share Krishna consciousness, and more importantly, a way of life. Even if it's Krishna consciousness or no Krishna consciousness, we all have to be human beings, and people unfortunately are living a life which is below the dignity of a human being even. So one thing that I get to hear is, I am my own guru, right? How many times or anybody thinks of this, it looks at it this way, I am my own guru? You just raise your hand. We won't get angry, it's okay. If you think that you're your guru, you're your own guru, right? Yeah, we cannot be our own guru, right? It could be very much that it's self-delusion that I think that I am my own guru, right? Every genuine spiritual seeker in this world, in the entire history of mankind, has had a guru. Can you think of anybody who never had a guru? Or even more simply, have you learned anything in your life without a teacher or a guru? Take a minute, think about it. No? Right? No, we cannot. Right from the day we are born, we are always taught things. But somewhere down the road, people start believing that I'm my own guru. I'll figure it out. Like nearly a decade ago, I was distributing books, and there was this, this person I met, and he came to me, and for a minute he said, I'm Vishnu. I started laughing. I thought it was a joke. He didn't laugh. So I realized that he's not joking. And then he said that soon I'm going to become Kalki. I was like, okay, fine. I had to give him a book, that's all. I was not there to preach him anything. I said, yes, you're going to become Kalki soon. And take this book. It'll help you become Kalki faster. And I hope he didn't become Kalki or anything. So yeah, people have this delusion that I am my own guru, right? So this is a tradition, there is a lineage that's going on. Claiming to be one's own guru, it dismisses this time-tested principle that everybody needs a guru. But then there is something else I have heard. Spirituality is within me. This principle of being that, the kingdom of God is within me, and it sounds very good. But Krishna just blasts this philosophy that Vedadrata Partha. And then he says that people who like the flowery language of Vedas, they get confused very easily. So flowery language of Vedas is beautiful verses, but at the end of the day, they don't make you happy, right? And that's what some people have this illusion that no, spirituality is within me. I don't need a guru, right? Yes, spirituality is within you. I'm not refuting that. But you need an awakening. That awakening requires guidance. Without that guidance, you cannot be awakened, right? Just as you might have heard this phrase that the fire exists within a wood. Yes, there is fire within the wood, but you need a spark to ignite that fire. Otherwise, it does not work. And also, sometimes when you think that spirituality is within me and I'll figure it out within myself, sometimes what happens is that our weaknesses, they sometimes present themselves as spirituality. Our mind is very tricky. It does and everything that it can do to make us not, walk on the path of self-realization. Because that's what the mind's been designed to do forever, to protect us. From all the wrong things that we have been doing life after life, the mind is just trying to protect us. And when we say, no, I want to try this path of spirituality, the mind says, no, it's not a good thing. Didn't you hear what your grandfather told you? You can only do it when you're 70. So your mind is trying to protect you, but somewhere the protection is not of much value to it, right? So that weakness can be seen as spirituality. So we need somebody to tell us. No. Like once Prabhupada, when Prabhupada came here early on, there was this, drug addict who had just picked up chanting. He came to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, when I chant, I see this beautiful light. Prabhupada said, yes, keep chanting, the light will go away. So yes, and then there's one more thing that, people come up with this principle that everything that I need is provided by the universe. I don't need anything else. I'm full, complete. I don't need a person to tell me. Yes, the universe provides, but it provides through instruments. Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita, be an instrument, right? That just be my instrument, Arjun. All what you're doing here, the war, your relatives, your friends, all that has been figured out already, what's going to happen to them. All you need to do is just be my instrument. Nimitta matra bhava sabyasachi. That's what Krishna tells Arjun. And what does Arjun say in reply to that? He says, Yathechasi tatha karo. He says, Karishe vachanam tava. I'll do, Krishna, as you're telling me, right? I'll be your instrument. And that's all the Bhagavad Gita is about. Be an instrument for Krishna's service. That's all. Unfortunately, people just remember that one phrase from the 4th chapter, right? Karmanne vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. I just have to do my duty and forget everything. They forget all the other 699 verses that Krishna spoke. Just remember that one thing. And they claim that I know Bhagavad Gita. And so, yes. So when we meet such people, we said, you already know Bhagavad Gita, help us teach others. So please donate to our concern. So that's how we talk to them. Yes. Yes, the universe may inspire us, but it does not correct us. It does not discipline us. A guru can discipline you, right? So Prabhupada, as you all know, it's GBC, that's the governing body commission that manages ISKCON throughout the world. GBC has has a statement that they have made it for many decades now, that Prabhupada is our preeminent Siksha Guru. So the word eminent means important. Preeminent, that he's above all, right? He's a preeminent Siksha Guru, right? But then there is another concept called the Diksha Guru, a devotee, a person that initiates you into the process. And the need for a Diksha Guru is because Shiksha Guru cannot come and correct you. If I'm doing something nonsensical, Prabhupada cannot come and fix me. He's not going to come and correct me. But if I have a guru, a Diksha Guru, then that guru can come and tell me, Prem Dham, don't do this. Don't even think about this. So that's why the universe can inspire us, but we need somebody to correct, discipline, or answer questions directly. And that's what a realized guru does. Okay? Now, I mentioned to all of you yesterday we were at Queen's Rath Yatra, right? So yesterday was a very auspicious day, right? Prabhupada in 1965 arrived in US on that particular day, 13th of September, right? He came here, he landed in United States, right? He got off a boat called Jalduta. Right? And if you all ever go to India, you can go to Calcutta, you can see the dock where Prabhupada boarded the Jalduta. Obviously the Jalduta is not there anymore, but Prabhupada boarded it there. So yesterday when I was there, I noticed this thing there. You know, it was in one of the bus stops. I took a picture. It says, "Whatever starts in New York City shapes the world." Right? So, where did Hare Krishna movement start? New York, is that correct? Say it loudly. Why are you shaking? Yes, it started in New York City. Yes, and where did New York City did it start? Even before that, where did it start? Before 26th Avenue. Tompkins Square Park. That's where Prabhupada stood under a tree and he chanted. And he had a bongo drum. Somebody gave him a bongo drum. I think he bought his kartals from India. And now if you go to New York City, you go to Tompkins Square Park, there's a plaque on the tree which says the Hare Krishna movement started here. Right? So Prabhupada single-handedly started the Hare Krishna movement by just sitting under a tree. So if you have a tree in your neighborhood, just go sit under it and chant. And you yourself can start a Hare Krishna movement by yourself. Right? That's the beauty of the whole process. But let me tell you a much interesting story, and some of you might have heard it. When Prabhupada got off the Jalduta, he didn't know where to go. He didn't know anybody in Europe. He had somebody who had sponsored his visa, somebody who was living in Butler, Pennsylvania. But when Prabhupada got off the boat, he didn't know whether to go left or right. He had come with 40 rupees. He had a box of cereals, something good, right? And then it was not a proper ship. It was not a passenger ship. It was a cargo ship that he came on. And Prabhupada had a couple of heart attacks in there, and but then eventually he landed. And then he went to Butler, Pennsylvania, and then it didn't work out there for him. He came to New York, and in the lower east side of New York, the Bowery as they used to call it, and he started his spiritual movement there. But something interesting happened. As you all know, when a ship docks at a place, the ship is going to be there for a few days, is going to clean up, replenish all the resources, and then it'll go back home where it's coming from. In this case, Jalduta came from India, from Calcutta. Now two white American boys in their early 20s, they were looking for a guru. Right? And they started thinking, where will I find a guru? Where will I find a guru? Everybody's pointing towards India. India is the hub of spirituality. Let's go to India. And what did they do? They boarded the Jalduta. There were two boys, Keith and Howard. Right? Both of them boarded the Jalduta, went to India, went to many of ashrams, did many holy places, came back, but still didn't find a guru. They just couldn't figure out. And just lo and behold, one day they're walking in one of those Lower East Side streets in New York, and they see this person in saffron sitting there. And they go and again ask him, "Are you a guru?" He said, well, before that, he says, "Oh, are you from India?" Prabhupada said, "Yes, I'm from India." And Prabhupada asked them, "Are you from India?" Just imagine, two white Americans, and he's asking. They said, "No, we are New Yorkers." He says, "Okay." And they said, "We are looking for a guru." And Prabhupada said, "Is it? Why don't you come to my class? And I do a class in 26th Avenue. Come there. And you might find something of interest there." Prabhupada invited them. And they both went there. And they were one of the earliest disciples of Prabhupada, Kirtananda and Hayagriva. Right? And that's the power of a guru. It can change your life completely. You might think everything is going perfect for me in my life, and suddenly somebody intervenes and just changes your life. You know, that's the way devotees do, right? They initially just tell you, nothing doing, just you chant, that's all. You come, have some prasadam, and you chant. And then next, after a month you've been chanting, they'll say, why don't you increase your chanting? Nothing beyond. And then after 6 months, they'll say, why don't you start reading Bhagavad Gita? Nothing beyond. And they just keep on expanding. One day that you have nothing else left to do except bhakti. That's the trick that devotees do, right? And so yes, that's what Prabhupada did. But Prabhupada was so pure and he was full of love, right? So those two devotees, they found their guru, right? And that's where their journey started, right? So Prabhupada's arrival, right? So Prabhupada's arrival, it directly counters the idea that the guru is unnecessary. It was a very important thing that Prabhupada had on his mind, that this hedonistic treadmill that the whole world is running after, the American being, this country, the West being the one on top and just, feeling that, okay, once we have all the luxuries in life, everything will be perfect. And Prabhupada comes right in the middle of it, telling them a completely opposite thing. That no, that's not the path you want to walk. You want to walk a path of regulation. Regulative principles of freedom. That's how Prabhupada translates a verse in Bhagavad Gita. Regulative principles of freedom. And a guru is necessary to progress. And what did Prabhupada not tolerate? To bring devotees to this path. Even today, what is not Prabhupada tolerating? He's sitting right on the Vyasasana there, the ornate Vyasasana. And he's seeing whatever is happening around in temples across the world, his ISKCON, and he's still tolerating, and he's still from within the devotee's heart, giving them a path how to move forward, right? But still, there are deviations. People are moving off path. They're taking wrong paths. And that's why Prabhupada kept on stressing, yes, guru. That's why he used to bring his guru into the picture every time, that if not for his guru, he wouldn't have been here. Sometimes people ask that, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who's Prabhupada's guru, he didn't make a big impact, Prabhupada was the one. No. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur left that impact for Prabhupada to make. That's the love a disciple has for his guru. He never says, I did something. He just says that it's mercy of my guru because of which it's happening. Otherwise, I'm nothing. That's the beauty of a pure devotee, right? So, yes, and I just quoted a verse here. I was talking to Sundarachal Prabhu yesterday while coming back on the bus, and he pointed this verse out to me, a very interesting verse. Can somebody please read that for me?
To understand spiritual knowledge, one must approach a bona fide spiritual master. Unless one has been trained by a spiritual master, cannot understand what is spirit and what is matter.
Yes. We will not be able to distinguish between what is right and wrong, what is spirit, what is matter. We'll just keep banging our heads, like as they say, right, a bull in a china-ware shop. Just keep banging, breaking things, hurting people, not realizing what is to be done, what is not to be done in the path, right? So a guru is very much necessary, right? But then you may say, right, that there are so many bogus gurus all over the world. What to do? How do you know that, right? I don't know if you've all seen, there is this a documentary called Guru Busters. Have anybody seen that? Yeah, so it was a movement in India many years ago where some people got together and said that we'll make it our day-to-day activity to just, bring out these false gurus, expose them. Right? So they're called the Guru Busters, just like the Ghost Busters. Like a guru, it used to happen so often that, a guru, disciple would come and the guru would say, I'll give you a mantra, you give me the Rolex you're wearing. And the disciple, humbly would take out his Rolex and give it to the guru. And the guru says, see, now I've made you timeless. So yeah, that's the kind of stuff was happening, right? So, but then the journey begins with faith, right? The journey begins with faith. And when you find a guru, what happens after that? This verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Brahmand Brahmite kon bhagyavan jeev, Guru Krishna prasade paye bhakti lata beej. So what happens that we have been migrating into different species for millions of years, millions of births. Who knows what I was in my last life? Probably a donkey, who knows? But then this life I'm a human being. After I have been revolving in all these species, in all different species, 8.4 million species in total, right? Been just revolving in all of them. And then somewhere I get a mercy of a guru. Brahmand Brahmite, Brahma, I've been just revolving. Bhagyavan Jeev, when you are lucky, when you have accumulated enough piety, that now, yes, you can get a guru. Right? So then what happens? Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. So Bij is a seed, and Bhakti is devotion, and Lata is, what is Lata? Creeper, yes. So the Guru will put that seed in your heart. And how do you nourish that seed? By hanging out with similar-minded people, with other spiritualists. Right? That's what you do. And then that seed, when it's been watered by that association of devotees, then it turns into a creeper. And then that creeper goes all the way up to Goloka and Krishna's feet. Right? And that all starts from that Bhaktilata Bij that a guru gives. Right? So, now the question, how to know who's a guru, right? So I put a picture of Prabhupada there just to bring in that Prabhupada is the guru that we all look up to and we follow. So, so the first thing a guru is that he knows the way, right? So they have the knowledge, they have the understanding, they have studied from another teacher, and eventually they're able to through their wisdom, through their philosophy, to answer your questions, right? So they know the way, right? So I'm just looking at time, so I'm just trying to be as to the point as possible, right? So they say, right, that you don't identify a fool until the fool opens his mouth. So they know. So the guru, when the guru speaks, you will know that this person is self-realized. He knows the way. So that's the beauty. So when you hear somebody, that's what they say. You don't see a guru, you hear a guru. That's the beauty of the process. So when you hear from a guru, you know that they have walked the path, right? So that's one quality of how to know who's a guru. So they know the way. And then the second thing is they walk the way, right? They're not just philosophers. He's not just a mental speculator that, oh yes, I know this path and all that. He's also a practitioner. Right? One who lives in, who breeds it, he's within his heart, right? One who's actually practicing it in his life. There are thousands and thousands of hours worth of recording for Prabhupada, right? And he was only around for 11 years when he came to the United States and after the movement. So thousands and thousands of hours. It was never a minute where Prabhupada was behind closed doors and you didn't know what he was doing. There was not a single moment. Either he was writing or, he was, whatever he was doing, was chanting, but it was transparent, 100% transparency, right? So therefore the second qualification of a guru is that they go the way themselves, right? They don't just tell you like, yeah, this is a really good thing, pick it up, and then they don't practice it themselves, right? Therefore, Srila Prabhupada, he's known as an Acharya. Acharya is somebody who is identified through his achar, through his behavior. Yes, that's the right word, right? He shows by his example, right? So they walk the talk, right? They practice what they preach. They live lessons that they are giving to others, right? So, but then the last thing, an important thing is that they show the path to others. So it's not that they're able to show the path to others, right? It's not just that they know it, they just practice it, but they can show it to others also, right? They have an ability to connect with people in such a way that they can convey the message to them. And that's a very important thing. Prabhupada in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, he says that realization means that you can give the message to anybody in a way that they can understand it. That's what realization means. And that realization comes when the person has walked the path, when you've been reading again and again, reading the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. And that's when we know, and that's how we can give it to others, right? And they have the ability to connect with others. They have the compassion that they want to connect with others. 24/7 they are thinking, how can I make it easier to pick up the Bhagavad Gita and read it, to pick up this Krishna consciousness process. So they are thinking about it 24/7, right? So yes, so these are the three important qualities by which you can know who's a guru. And if you're reading the Bhagavad Gita gives you many, many different things that you can understand, but how to identify, or what is like a guru to be, what are the qualities of a guru, right? For Krishna, for example, we see it in that he says, he should not be a demigod worshipper, for example. Krishna says that in the 9th chapter, he talks about it, demigod worship. So that's one thing that a guru should not do. Then the guru should not propagate impersonalism, that the God does not have a form, 12th chapter, Krishna talks about in the 5th verse. That this path is not easy in this world, in this life. So don't walk the path of impersonalism. Just look at God, Krishna, Shyam Sundar, and just become a devotee. And then Krishna, if that guru does not believe that as Krishna is the supreme, then again he is not to be accepted as a guru. Because Krishna again tells us in Bhagavad Gita that he is the supreme. Mata paratram nanyet kinchidasti dhananjaya. Nobody is beyond me. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. I am the topmost. But even if after that somebody comes and starts propagating that, no, Krishna is not guru, there is somebody else and blah blah, well, that person is not a guru. He's not a bona fide guru. Right? Then Krishna says in the 4th chapter, at evam parampara praptam. So, the guru has to come from a disciplic succession. Nobody can create knowledge from within their heart. They have to have a teacher who taught it to them. So if you are trying to look for a guru and you find somebody, just try to look what lineage he or she is coming from. Just try to ask this, who's your guru? Who was your guru's guru? What did your guru teach? Where is your guru now? Is he in jail? Who knows? So yes, so you have to make that effort. And Krishna keeps talking about in the entire Bhagavad Gita, he gives so many ways. Again and again, trying to tell you how to look for a guru and how to know whatever the teachings that are coming from the guru are bona fide and the guru is worth following. Right? So, this is towards the end of my discussion. Yes, so I just put in points here. Yes, getting a guru is great, yes, but that's not something that you do, like, take a guru and you put a picture of your guru on a shelf and forget about it. A guru is not a picture to be carried around. A guru is a person who is going to direct your whole life for you. You can go and ask your guru any question. Your guru is supposed to know everything. Obviously, you don't go and ask your guru, can you fix my car? It doesn't work that way. What are the 3 most important J's in life? It's Jagat, Jivan, and Janardhan, right? So Jagat means this world. What is this world? Your guru can tell you that. What is Jivan? What's this life? What am I doing here? Your guru can answer you that. And most importantly, who's Janardhan? Who's Bhagavan? Who's God? A bona fide guru can answer that also. So, a guru is not just a picture on a shelf. A guru is a person who can guide you in every aspect of life. However, after having a guru and you don't follow his instructions, that's disrespect towards your guru, and Krishna does not appreciate that. Krishna says, Namij bhakta jana partha, ye me bhakta jana priya. I think I didn't mess up the verse, but it says a verse in Adi Puranam, and Krishna is talking to Arjuna, and he's saying that to people who are my direct devotees are not my loved ones. My loved ones are the ones who are my devotees' devotee, who are following that evam parampara praptam philosophy. Right? Then Krishna even mentions this in Bhagavad Gita, right? That if you find a guru who says everything is okay, somebody's following path of demigods, that's okay. Somebody is following a path of impersonalism, that's okay. Then that guru is not somebody to be followed. Okay? A guru tells you a clear path, however hurtful it may be to you. He'll never tell a lie to you. He'll be truthful, so that he can cut the knots of ignorance that are in our heart. Okay? Yes, so coming to that point of respecting our guru. Right? So we have to respect our guru if you have a guru. Right? So guru is central to our spiritual life. Right? So without faith in guru, there is no spiritual advancement. It's not just a fancy, as I'm saying, repeating myself, not just a fancy picture on the shelf. You have a guru and you follow his or her principles. That's what you do. Right? So for us, Srila Prabhupada is our founding Acharya. He's the ISKCON's founder Acharya. There will never be any other founder Acharya for ISKCON ever in creation of this world. He's our founder Acharya. He's the guiding spiritual authority for everyone in ISKCON who's ever going to come and connect with ISKCON. And that means all of you. However, there is an important concept to understand is that loyalty and integrity. That's an important thing. Right? So when you come to Prabhupada and then we don't have faith on Prabhupada, that's actually hurting me more than it hurts anybody else. Right? Because then it becomes duplicitous. That's something I wanted to highlight here because we're talking about a guru. Right? So when we approach Krishna, we don't do it independently. We come through the medium of a guru. But if we start, just taking it very casually with the guru and say, no, I come to the temple, I take part in the kirtan, I listen to the class, I eat, but at the same time I don't have faith in Prabhupada. That's not going to take you anywhere. You can come to the temple for the next 50 years of your life and no change will happen. Your heart will be exactly where it was 50 years ago. And then you'll be leaving your body sometime, and then you'll have these millions of dollars in your account, And you would be wanting to give a check to somebody and you'll not be able to leave the check. Like I knew this old person many years ago, and he was leaving his body. He was in his 70s. He was not a devotee, but he was connected to the temple. So I would take some prasadam to him now and then. And he wanted to give some donation to the temple. And he was a rich guy, and he wrote a check and he was giving it to me, and he just couldn't leave the check. He was holding tight onto it, even though he wanted to give it to me, but he could not. And then I pulled the check away from his hand. And very next day I deposited it so that he does not go back on his words. But yes, so that's what's going to happen if you don't have faith in the teachings that Prabhupada is giving us. Right? ISKCON is not just a temple, it's an institution for you changing your heart. And if that change of heart is not happening, you better be at another place on Sunday evenings. Have fun, watch a movie, do whatever you like. But if you're really going somewhere, you're investing your time and effort, please follow that path. Because the Prabhupada, a guru, is Krishna's representative, right? If we try to enjoy the facilities that Prabhupada is providing to us, this temple, the deities, the chanting, kirtan, prasadam, everything has been provided to us by Prabhupada. And he continues to do that. But if we keep our heart's allegiance somewhere else, it's not very beneficial for us. That's called duplicity. And Krishna does not like duplicity. He just moves away from people who are duplicitous. He waits. He says, when you get rid of that duplicity, you can come back. Right? So, spiritual life is based on sincerity and integrity. The path is very simple, but you have to follow it strictly. That's the thing, right? You have to align your words, right? Align your words, mind, and thoughts, and actions, everything, with the mission of our Guru, right? And then what will happen eventually, I'll just take a minute and wrap up. What will happen eventually is, there is this beautiful analogy given in the Srimad Bhagavatam that when you eat, 3 things happen. You feel happy, you feel nourished, and more importantly, your hunger goes away, right? Bhakti parishanubhava viraktir anyata chai kshatrika ekakala prapadya manasa shus tushti pushti shudapyo anughasham. So the analogy is eating. So when you practice spirituality, and if you're practicing it with sincerity and integrity, what's going to happen eventually is, first thing, you will feel that pleasure. Right? Because it's a tangible science. It's not something that you're just being asked to follow and then just close your eyes and hope that when you're leaving your body, things will fall in place. No, it's something that you can tangibly experience on a daily basis. Right? Can somebody tell me a verse where Krishna says that it's a practical realization you can have? 9th chapter. Yes, susukham kartum avyam. Prataksha vagmam dharmayam. It's prataksha. You can actually feel it. You can actually realize it. There is nothing hidden in it. Ask questions. Be bold. Come out. Obviously with respect. But you should ask questions. Don't just come, listen and go home. No, ask questions. What do you mean by this? I don't understand this verse of Bhagavad Gita. Why is Prabhupada sitting on that ornate asana? Why are deities' curtains closed now? Ask questions. Obviously, just don't keep asking at end. Try to even cultivate some understanding. But then, yes, I was saying, yes. So you feel nourished when you come to bhakti. That's another thing. Yes, you'll feel happy for sure. You'll also feel nourished. You'll feel it in your heart that my heart is filling up. There's this vacuum in our heart which we have tried to fill with so many things. I have degrees behind my name. I have trophies on the wall. I have, my visiting card has I'm a VP or CEO or whatever. But that does not fill the vacuum in our heart. The vacuum is only filled by Krishna. You have a Krishna-shaped hole in your heart. And you've been trying to fill it with many different things, but it won't fill up. But the third most important thing that happens when you practice spirituality, right, is that when you eat food, the hunger goes away. Similarly, all your attachments go away. Things that have been holding you tight and you just feel, my God, when am I going to get out of this mess, right? So yes, that's the third thing that happens. That it just nourishes your heart, all the attachments go away, right? And then eventually you become blissful, because that's the nature that you belong to. Sat Chit Ananda. You're meant to be blissful, not to live this life of 40 hours a week, and then you need 2 days to forget those 40 hours a week, and then again you start those 40 hours, and again you need 2 days to forget those. I don't know, just the cycle will keep going forever, right? So yes, follow the Guru, respect the Guru, Just avoid duplicity and be loyal and integral. And then your path is clear. So I just thought I'll take some time to talk about Guru because we're celebrating the Vyasa Puja of Vaisheshika Maharaj today. I think this is my last slide. Now, any questions? Yes? Vyas? So the Vyas word is for Vyasadeva, who is the author of all the scriptures. It stands for him, Vyasadeva. Yes? Thank you. What else? Anybody else has any thoughts, comments, something you didn't like that I spoke? Anybody? Yes, bro. I don't think we have a mic.
My question was, you mentioned about how Guru is so important, and I think sometimes people appreciate that, but because of the Kaljuga and seeing so many corruption or breaking of trust, people find it difficult to still trust an individual. That's why they rely on these DIY or self-help books.
Yeah?
Because they agree that they need some help, but they find it difficult to trust someone. So how would you do it?
Well, it's just a mindset, Prabhu. We have faith on so many things. When you get on a plane, you don't ask the pilot, show me your certificate and how many hours you have flown. We have faith on the pilots. We take 15-hour flights going to India. We have faith on the pilot, right? Then, when you go on the road, we have faith on the drivers around you. None of them is probably drunk or didn't have a fight with his spouse or something. So we have faith on so many places. It's just that we have to align that faith in this path. But then, yes, I understand that's an inherent problem that we all face. Krishna even mentions this, right? Vitrag, Bhaya, Krodha, Manmaya, Mam, Upashrita. He talks about 3 things why people never come to bhakti. Raga, attachment, Bhaya, fear, Krodha, anger. People just don't come to it. So it's just a mindset change that we need, Prabhu. We have faith in so many things. And even more importantly, sometimes people have this fear that, oh my God, how much effort will I have to put into it? That's why they don't want to align. But we put so much effort in everything that we do. Where we are in our jobs, how many years of education we have gone into to come to that position. So it's just a mindset change, Prabhu. It's not as if that we are not already doing it. We are doing it. We have faith in so many things that we put. But then we just have to understand that, this is also important for us. Have faith in this also, just like all the other 100 things that we have faith in. What else do we have? Anything from this corner of the room or this corner? Yes, Drew, anything from you? Yes. Yeah, that's true. What benefit we get from it? It's like very much like air, when you carry an umbrella, right? It's not raining outside, but then you carry an umbrella just in case it rains. What happens then? Then you can always use that umbrella. When life is going smooth, you have your windows rolled down, your hand on the window car, and you're cruising. Everything looks nice, but the next moment things can really go downhill pretty quickly. That's where the spirituality helps you to balance, to not go down deep. So it's not like spirituality is that there's this specific need for it. It's all pervasive. You need it 24/7, because we all are going through life's up and downs every day. Our boss does not listen to us. Our boss screams on us. The job, there's so much of job scare. You can bring spirituality into everything. How are you going to tackle all this if not for spirituality? If you just think that I'm all by myself into the process, how are you going to handle it? There's no way of handling other than just either going to drugs, suicide. That's all. That's the only other way people take up to. If they don't understand that there is so much beyond this body, beyond this life that we are living in. So it's an all-pervasive requirement. It's not just that you need it at some places. Hope that made sense, Prabhu. I don't want to keep anybody holding. It's 6:10, but if anybody has anything last on their mind to ask. If not, comment. If not, we can wrap up. Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Radhesham Prabhu, His Grace Radhesham Prabhu used to run, and many of his, my mentor in India, he used to run the device classes. So do we have a device in the mountain?
We don't have.
We do it, classes.
We do it, but we do it, let's say for example, when I started my Bhakti Life, I did that.
Yeah,
But we don't do it on a regular basis for newcomers.
that actually gives a very good perspective, and somehow we need some person like you who can.
Yeah, it's needed, bro. There's so many things going on, I don't know.
He is leading. He is like yesterday night he asked me the question because we are talking about MISC. MISC, yeah, mistake, illusion, cheating, propensity. So if this is true, nobody is perfect. Then how can you say that Prabhu was this question? How can I believe that whatever he is writing is perfect? Who told him that? So I told him it has come to basic necessity. How does he know? And then somehow he forgot in between parts. I suddenly felt like, I attended that class 4 to 5 times. And all those questions he had, answered there, with a lot of examples. I'm not a person who they remind me.
Oh, he's growing, right? So he has you laugh. That's why it's important that you have all the answers.
Problem is probably somehow I'm forgetting everything. Even I forgot Ekamasa's name. So, I'm telling you, sometimes I forget because but it's okay. What I'm trying to tell you is like there is some reference or some kind of task. That way, this is a very good very funny. Where we go, we should utilize and don't waste your own time. Don't just come for the coming, don't waste your time. Do some productive, whatever you do. Or to make it more productive, I think that for newcomers, because they directly taking time to Bhakti, going through Bhagavad Gita. Before that, they should have that big. Lot of